gallons close.
Okay. Alright, today guys we're going to be going over how to properly CIP the keg washer filler so that you can be ready to keg off some more beer. Alright, so we're going to come over here, we're going to get the keg washer filler ready first. Power on switch is right up here. You're going to turn that on. Then you're going to want to come over here to the screen. You're going to let it do its startup procedure.
Okay, we're just gonna hit start. We're gonna hit American. Alright, so the keg type doesn't matter so much for this, but we know we're gonna be doing 6-holes first, so I'm just gonna hit change. You gotta hit reset before you can hit change, sorry. Then you're gonna go to 6-holes, which is 5.16 gallons, close. Mode, we're gonna go to CIP external. You'll notice down here, lowered this plate, and at this point, we're going to want to go ahead and cap this off. This is very important. Put your cap on top and secure your cap in place. Okay, once your cap is in place, we're ready to go with our keg washer filler. So you're going to look at our setup right here. We're going to start over here. We have our pump, and from our pump coming out of the top, you can see we have a T. The ball valve, and this hose is just going to the drain. That's going to be our drain hose. We're draining chemicals, rinse water, things like that. Right here we have our valve just to stop it in the event that we need to prime our pump. And then down here at the bottom you can see we have a sight glass. And then just run it over here to our brink tank, which is where we're going to add our chemicals and everything in and complete our circuit. You can notice here, it's important to set this up like this because this is what we will be transferring to the keg later on. You want to go sight glass, then a T, valve on each side. Okay. Now, very important, when you look at your discharge hose, it ties in over here. Right here. That's your discharge from your pump. The most important thing to realize about that is you need to, if you'll notice we have a long loop here. Long loop. You want to make sure that your hose that you're CIPing is long enough to reach the bright tank that you're going to be kegging off from. Okay, so we already measured it out. We have our enough hose in place. We're going to go ahead and get this pump primed. In order to do that, we need to ensure you have a flow meter. We're going to add 10 gallons of hot water. Alright, now that we've added 10 gallons of hot water, we're going to go ahead and we're just going to create our loop to get it flowing back to this tank before we add our chemicals. So what you want to do to prime your pump, you have to open up your feed right here from your tank. Now that that's open, we want to open this to our drain to allow it to prime the atmosphere. Okay, once I got good water in here, I know I'm good, I close this valve. Now I know my pump should be primed. I'm going to have my pump set on 20. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to open up this valve. Okay, now that we're flowed, that's going to go through our hose. And it's going to deadhead because we have a valve closed in here. We're going to show you how to open that right now. Okay, alright guys, so one other thing on our keg type right here, we want to hit standard for filling. So we're at a 5.6 gallon, standard for filling. We're just going to hit close and then open up our valve to complete the loop. We're just going to hit reset, both of these buttons, and now our loop is complete. And we're running on 20 hertz. And as you can see here, we have established flow. And now that we have this,
we're gonna get our chemicals according to the 10 gallons. So for caustic, we know we're running a 10-gallon loop, it's 2 ounces per gallon. We're gonna go ahead and get 20 ounces of caustic and add it into our brink tank. All right guys, so we have our 20 ounces of caustic. Always ensure when you're handling the chemicals, you have your proper PPE on. We'll go ahead and dump that down into our brink tank and give our bucket a good rinse here in the water. Get all those chemicals in there. All right, now that we are recirculating our caustic, we're gonna let this run for 20 minutes after we bump our pump up to about 25. All right guys, so we've been letting our caustic run for 20 minutes. At this point, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna wanna rinse this whole system out real good. We're gonna take our return hose coming from there, we're just gonna put it in the drain, send all our chemicals down the drain. All right, so if you'll notice here, we have a water hose sticking in, it's just tied in right here to our water supply. We're gonna go ahead, turn that guy on. Alright, so now we're going to have to reprime our pump. Now that we've got all our caustic out, we're just going to keep rinsing it. Reprime the pump, and we're just going to start sending this water through. You want to make sure your flow rate matches your pump so that you can keep continuously flowing. As you'll notice, we're just pouring out right down here into the drain, and we're going to rinse this whole system for 5 minutes. Alright guys, so we've got a good 5-minute rinse on this. We're going to go ahead and just drain this water out. We're going to fill our water supply. We're going to let the pump, try to pump out as much of this water through the system as we can. Alright, so now our brink tank is empty. We're going to wait for our bottom side valve to clear. That's as clear, that's as much as we're going to get. We're going to go ahead and close our feed, turn off our pump. Alright, now at this point, alright, so at this point, we went ahead and we changed our water supply from hot to cold. We want to do cold water for the peracetic acid. We're going to go ahead, we're going to add 10 gallons. Good, now that we've added our 10 gallons, we're going to go ahead and put our return line back into our tank. We're going to need to reprime our pump. We're going to open the atmosphere, let our bulb fill up, and we're going to close it. Alright, so at this point, we're still open on our valves over there, so we're good to just fire it up. Open here. And as you can see, we've completed our return loop. So we're flowing into the tank. And at this time, we're gonna go ahead and add our sanitizer. Now it's important when you add this, you don't just go off of the 10 gallons. Because we still had a 1.5 gallons per 16-foot hose in there. We have 3 of them. So we're gonna go ahead and count for 15 gallons on this one. And it's 2 ounces for 5 gallons. So we're gonna add 6 ounces of our sanitizer into our loop now. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and just add our 6 ounces of sanitizer. We're going to rinse the fuck out of there real good. We're going to let this sanitizer run for 10 minutes. Yep. Okay, alright guys, so if you want to confirm your flow rates or anything through there, you can look right here at your Q value, and it's giving you that in liters per hour. And that confirms that your valve is open and you are recirculating. Alright guys, so we've been running our sanitizer for 10 minutes now. We're going to go ahead and just drain it out. We're going to take our discharge hose from our KEG Washer filler. We're going to stuff it down in the drain, just like we did for the caustic. We've got our water right here. We're going to wait until it sucks the tank dry, and then we're going to fill our pump, and we're going to put warm water to the vent. Okay, that's all we're going to be able to get out. We're going to go ahead and close this valve, turn off our pump. We're going to turn our water back on. We're going to go ahead and replam our pump. Then the fill up down there. Fill it right up here. We're going to just let that build up a little bit of reservoir so we don't suck our tank dry. Okay. Go ahead and start our pump. I'm going to send it. We can confirm that we are flowing out of here. And we're going to look at our flow rate on our Q value. We're going to go ahead and rinse it for 5 minutes.